Yes, Slaney, what a guest this week, Dwight Gayle!
Come on! What a superstar. How are you, mate? Good?
I'm good, thanks. And yourselves?
Really good, mate.
Were you training today, mate?
Yeah, asked you how you were.
I'm doing really well, mate. But I'll tell you one thing, very sexy.
Great eyes.
Making get all nervous.
Lovely eyes, man. Got to turn the cameras off for a bit. Oh, yeah, we carry on. But just quickly, your wife's from Scotland?
Yeah, she's from Forfar, so not far from yourself.
Dundee.
But
did she ever go to Fat Sam's back in the day?
No, she was always at home.
Never went out.
Studying, never out.
Right, Dwight, just to give you a wee bit of insight, mate, the people that make this happen that are SBK.
Brilliant.
Who sponsor Hibs as well?
Yep.
Great sponsor, aren't they, mate?
Yeah, great sponsor.
You've really enjoyed working under him this year?
Yeah.
Good lad. Easter Road to interview Hibs centre forward Dwight Gayle with SBK. We just want to extend a big thank you to our partners at SBK who helped arrange our sit down with Dwight and let you know they'll be running a 50% bet builder boost on both of the Scotland v Greece matches coming up, Paul. There's a link to sign up to an account in the description box below. T&Cs do apply. 18 plus, please gamble responsibly. Also remember to like and comment on the video, subscribe to Open Goal. Now it's time to enjoy wee Dwight.
I can't wait to hear him, mate. What a career you've had, mate.
What way would you put him in terms of Premier League legends?
One of the greatest that's ever played. One of the greatest that's ever done it, mate. Nah, but genuinely, what a career, mate, you've had. Mate, I'm going to ask you this, and I was talking to Chrissy Cadden last night. He said that, now I don't know if this is true, he says you've got a Lambo, so is that true?
Yeah.
Right, but now I need to ask you this.
Wow.
Did you need to ask permission for the gaffer when you were bottom the league? Could you drive into training? Is this true?
To be fair, I didn't actually end up going around to ask him. I was trying to find the right time. There was no right time. I said to obviously a couple of the boys, I think it was Jonah, the captain, I was like, I've ordered something from 3 years ago and it's turning up at the worst time possible. But I think we beat Motherwell on the weekend, which was a bit of a softener for the turn up with the car. And then, yeah, it didn't go down too badly, to be fair.
So did you ask or did you just drive it in?
I just drove it in, to be fair. It comes sort of out the blue, but yeah, he was okay with it, to be fair.
I think that's amazing though, the fact that it's even crossed your mind to ask the gaffer and speak to Joe Newell, but I think that's amazing.
I know, but it's a bit when the gaffer's got like a micro, mate, and you're driving around. What's Dave driving, like a micro or something?
He's got it out there, so we can maybe get a wee shot at it after the interview if it goes well.
Nicky Cadden loved it. He had a little drive on it and he messaged me later that day, said you made my day and stuff like that, so he was buzzing.
Who else? So, boy, you just gave boys the keys and let them drive it?
Just Nicky, to be fair. Boyley was trying to get it, but...
No, fuck that. He's putting that through a wall, mate.
Exactly
that wee guy, exactly how he plays, mate, just running into a wall. So at Easter Road, how you enjoyed your time at Hibs?
Yeah.
Massive club, mate, innit?
Yeah, I've loved it so far. It's obviously exactly what I sort of thought it'd be like, getting some great memories, and the boys have been fantastic as well.
How did it come about, mate, the move? Was there any... I was going to ask you this as well. Was there ever any chance to come to Scotland before this season?
I think I had the opportunity to... I think Naismith mentioned about coming to Hearts at the beginning of the season sort of thing.
Right.
And I sort of like... it wasn't sort of the right thing for me at the time. And then I think I played against Cambridge in a friendly, and I think the guys up here watched it, and they said that they was interested in me coming up sort of thing. And I wasn't sort of sure with my family arrangements, but then I spoke to obviously Joe again, who I spoke to over the summer a bit.
Is this Joe Newell?
Yeah, and then it just seemed like a good thing for me, because obviously I'd played in most of the leagues already down south, and then obviously being big club and the opportunities to come up here and play was too good to turn down. How
good was that sunshine on Leith the other week?
Oh mate,
I love it.
Yeah, it was the best. Yeah, like one of the best experiences I've had in my career.
Was it really?
Yeah, just like after the Celtic game, we obviously I knew about the song, but I didn't really know exactly what was going on. So then when they started singing it, I just come out of the blue sort of thing. I didn't really know any of the words and stuff, but it was obviously still very special. So I felt like I almost missed out. So then the whole week, for coming up to the Hearts game, I was in my car and I was like practicing, like learning the words.
What, singing it in your motor?
Yeah,
in the Lambo?
Yeah, learning the lyrics and stuff like that. So, and that Nath Mariah Welsh was enjoying it so much against Celtic, so I was like, I'm going to learn the words and stuff. So then when it come to the Hearts game and we got to sing it again, I was ready and I knew all the words. That was obviously one of the best songs in like football. Like,
is that one of the best atmospheres, mate, you've
that song is like one of the best moments in terms of like being so unique, and the fact that they don't sing it every week means it's just a bit more special, that when it comes along, you know you've obviously done something well.
Where else do you play that had a good atmosphere? Palace is good atmosphere, isn't it?
And Newcastle, both great atmospheres, to be fair. Palace.
Just say that Hibs is better. Would you say Hibs is better? Just say it for us, just so we get a headline.
Definitely the best.
Easter Road the best, mate. Right. Thanks very much.
Mate, what a season you're having though. Do you think you can finish third?
I hope so, yeah. We're obviously strongly confident in the dressing room, but ultimately we've got to just keep picking up results. But I think it's even more special the fact that we started so badly with the results, and you can just see that the team and fans are united as one at the moment.
Why do you think that was such a bad start? Because you were playing actually all right though, weren't you? So just want to get the results.
You'd argue you'd almost have probably better performances previous in the season. But you know when things are not going for you, loads of your luck just doesn't go your way, and then your reactions to stuff don't work as well. Whereas now you almost go a goal down, but you still see a confidence in the team, and it's been obviously shown with the results.
On the way through here, he says to me that he felt like the turn in fortune was when you came out the team.
I think you've got to start now, to be quite honest with you.
Did you know much about Scottish football before you came here? Did you need to do a wee bit of research after?
A little bit. You obviously know the Edinburgh derbies and the Dundee derbies and obviously the Glasgow derby, but other than that, not too much. But obviously, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, it's something that I'm glad I got.
What have you made of the standard? Because obviously quite a lot gets spoken about, like people in England. For me, when I played in there, looked down at the standard in Scottish football. How have you found it in general?
No, it's been decent. There's obviously some very good players that come through. The top two teams you see are so good in Europe and stuff. So it's obviously a good sign for the division. I think Celtic have been very good this season, almost a step above the others. But you see every week's competitive, and anyone can beat anyone on their given day, sort of thing.
You think they would do alright in the Premier League, the Rangers?
I think they do very well. I think it might take a bit longer for the investments to kick in and stuff, but once they did, you can see that their support is massive, and the travelling fans that come in every week is unreal, really.
Oh, wait.
Mate, please tell me it's not your last season ever.
You can't retire, mate.
Come on, mate. You've got so much to offer still.
I'm not 100% set on it, but it's something that I think is likely to happen.
Why?
Just like my body's starting to feel a bit stiffer than normal.
He'll rub you every day.
I'll do it, mate. Anywhere you want.
And then just obviously my kids are down south, and I want to try and get back with them if possible.
Have you found that quite tough?
Yeah, it's been really tough. I'm someone who's done a lot of stuff. Like I'm always with the kids doing the school runs as much as I can, and it's something. If I have any spare time, it's what I want to be doing, really, spending time with my kids.
I know, but you get to move down south.
Yeah, I know, but also I've really enjoyed it here, and I want to finish on a bit of a high, and if we finish third, that would be like the perfect send-off for me. And then you'll be in Europe, and then I'll be gutted.
That's when you're loaded on it, when you retire at 34, mate.
Could that European spot maybe change your mind, though?
That's what the boys keep saying, to be fair. They're like, oh, what if we could, like one more year, if you get into Europe? And I'm like, oh, I'll be so jealous, because I haven't been managed to experience it in my career. And
don't love your kids that much, mate. I can go and play in Europe.
Joe Newell tells me about the European nights here and stuff, and I can only imagine what it'd be like.
Just before we do go into the career, we need to ask you your last day on earth, last ever meal, starter, main, dessert, mate.
Alright, so this has caused a bit of controversy in the physio room at the moment.
Right.
Because the boys didn't like the fact I went for sweet potato fries.
Sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
Nah,
But wait, you need to set the full scene. Somebody's pulling in and you're getting...
So it's an electric chair, mate. I don't know who likes to say it sometimes, and it's somebody's bringing an electric chair in that maybe in your career that you've not seen eye to eye.
Yeah.
So who would that guy be bringing that chair in for you?
To do you in.
To really, to end it for you.
Alan Pardew.
Yeah, Alan Pardew doing that dance. Yeah.
He's coming in like that. Right, Pards the stand.
That's a good scene, I like Pards.
And the whole time you're eating the meal till he's still dancing.
Sam, you're getting it in a minute.
He'd be buzzing to turn it on.
Oh, I'd love it, mate.
So what's the starter, mate?
I'm going to go with... I'm not going for bonbons, so don't get excited. I'm going to go for sweet chili with tempura prawns.
Oh, beautiful.
Have you had somewhere in Edinburgh that you've had that you quite like? What's the one that they two kept banging on about, the two cadets?
Black Ivy, I love it. They're just because they got free shares or something.
They're all over it. Right, so sweet chili prawns.
And your main?
I'm going to go nostalgic and go with I'm going to go ribeye steak with Parmesan lettuce and...
Never heard it.
Yeah, because you get it at Miller and Carter.
Oh,
And that's like a nostalgic feeling for me where I just, when I was getting a bit of money in football and stuff, and I just felt like...
That's where you went, man.
Yeah.
Would you eat that off Pardew's body? There's no plates, so you need to...
No,
But he's still jiggling a bit while, so you're...
no place.
No.
And you're having two fries with it?
Yeah, sweet potato fries.
Alright, and what's how you getting your steak cooked, sorry?
Medium rare.
It's medium rare, right, nice.
What about you guys?
Mate, your dessert, sorry.
I think I'm going...
Something sticky if it's off.
Yeah, but I'm going chocolate brownie with a bit of vanilla
Nice,
ice cream.
innit? It's a nice
Vanilla ice
ending.
cream.
An alcoholic drink, Tony?
Alcoholic drink, mate.
I think I'm going to have to go Peroni or a beer.
Nice.
Any
Too
sort of
simple.
beer, yeah.
Who's your wife's team? She's from Forfar, obviously. Is she a Forfar fan?
Her family's Newcastle.
Oh, are they right?
Yeah, because her dad was born in Newcastle, so I obviously got with her at Crystal Palace, and then I ended up going to Newcastle when her dad was buzzing.
How mad's
amazing.
that?
Yeah, and her
Mad how the world works, innit?
And her brother Newcastle as well, and he's just lent me he's one of his golf partners at the moment. It's got a little Newcastle thing, and all the boys have been grilling.
Battering you for it.
Yeah.
God, that's amazing, isn't it? Is she a Forfar fan? To just no, not interested.
Not really. No. I think she's just probably Newcastle as well.
Right, okay, mad. Right, on to the
Amazing.
career,
On to
mate.
the career, mate. Is it true you started at Arsenal, mate? About 12 at Arsenal's academy, that's where you started?
Yeah, I was there from 8, I think, to
8,
12. Yeah, and then got released at 12.
How, see that team, mate, was there any players that played for there that sort of went on to make it?
Mark Randall would have been.
Randall's a good player. MK Dons.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
technically
good. Gavin Hoyt and his older brother Justin.
Fullbacks.
Yeah. And then Kieran Agard. I think he was went to Everton from Arsenal. And then he
Got Rotherham.
Yeah.
I remember him as well, eh?
Yeah.
No bad.
No,
no
dream
bad.
man, eh?
But why did you get released, if you don't mind me asking?
Said I was too small and not strong enough at the
That
time.
old
See that,
stuff,
mate.
pish.
Does that not just annoy you though, mate, hearing that?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, really. It's just you could tell that I was starting to struggle a bit with the team.
Right.
Unless they put me down a couple of years or so, then I was just underdeveloped. So it was always going to be a bit of a tough one where I wasn't enjoying it for the last year anyway. So I was almost like in a bit of like a happy feeling, a bit of relief.
I just wanted to get it.
Was there ever a feeling like that's me done with football, or was it no? Did you not take it as bad as that?
No,
Determination to prove them wrong.
No, it didn't feel like a determination to prove them wrong, but I definitely didn't like completely finish me for football because I felt like I was young enough that I still could enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whereas my older brother, he got released from there at 16, and then he completely sort of just sacked it from there.
Wow.
But for me, I was just like, let me just go enjoy my football again, because for the last year I felt like I wanted to just play with my friends, like when they were coming into school talking about it and stuff. So it was perfect for me to just go back and play Saturday football.
How long did you do that for? Go back and play Saturday?
7 or 8 years, I think. So
You played Saturday football until you're 19?
I think, and then I sort of joined the semi-pro team at 19,
Wow.
which was Stansted for 2 years. But it was all the same boys that I played with from 12, sort of thing.
It's quite late on, isn't it? See, mate, just sorry before we see the academy. I do feel that, mate. I do feel when you go into academy, the sort of fun comes out and it's too much. It can be a lot of pressure. Like,
Yeah.
isn't
At
it?
that age it is,
Definitely, I felt like I was obviously travelling into Arsenal, which was like 30, 40 minutes or sometimes longer on a night, and I felt like you say, you're taking a bit of the fun away when the boys was maybe doing stuff in the midweek or on the Fridays and stuff like that. It just felt like it was a bit too much. But
What kind of dad did you have? You're always interested in this? Was he one that would be on you all the time, or was he
he wasn't.
laid back?
No, he was really, really good, to be fair. We used to work on techniques, both foot, all the time, so much.
What, your dad would take you like the back garden?
Yeah, all the time. And then I used to go with him football all the time, so I loved it. Like, we was really close with that sort of thing. And then in terms of like how he was, he'd be one of those quiet dads who wouldn't really say too much on the sideline. But then when you get in the car and like some of the other boys have said before, like, you feel like you've done well, you scored a few goals and that, and he'd be like, you didn't do it. Like, you could have done this, you could have done that. And at the time you're like, oh, you just give me some compliments and stuff like that. But definitely you start to pick up, because in the next week, the things that he tells you to do, you start to pick up. So it definitely helped.
Him and his dad used to chase each other in the back garden. What
Yeah,
was
chicken, minute. See if we could catch a chicken. He seen it for Rocky, so it was just stupid wee story there, if you want to. Mate, see, when obviously you signed with that Stansted, have you got a part-time job as well?
Yeah, so obviously I went into work as a carpenter with my old man. So I did that for 3 years, working around central London. The difference.
And is a dream mate still to be professional player?
Not at all, really. No, I just love playing football so much. Like I was really small sort of thing, and people have told me for years and years and years that you sort of just wasn't going to do it, and it sort of come to my mind that I'll not giving up, but just wasn't going to make it in football.
Mate, see at that level, are you a proper standout though?
No, so I was at Stansted at 19, and I sort of started on the right wing, and I was...
Stansted right wing, there's a joke in there, is that?
Quite something.
I would play 2 or 3, then come out the team for 2 or 3, then go back in, and then I sort of joined the gym around December-ish sort of thing, and then towards the beginning of the next year, they sort of put me up front because we had a few injuries, and then started going well for me. I scored a few goals, and then finished the season like pretty well, and the whole next season I done well up front.
Where were you playing before you were a striker?
I went to midfield a lot. I played centre mid for a lot because, like I said, I was so small and was never going to get away from defenders that I was quite technically good. So I played midfield from 10 till 18, 10 till 19.
Right, wow, that's mad, isn't it? And then 19, when you went to be a striker, do you think that helped you being a striker, the fact that you played midfield?
A little bit. I definitely think, if you're trying to make like the perfect professional, I do think playing in midfield gives someone a wide understanding of the game.
I agree.
And then they move out to whatever position from there.
Yeah. Because
then you're also doing the attacking, the defending. You see people like Reece James and Trent Alexander where they played midfield for a long period of time. When they go back to right back, they just stand out so much because they can see stuff that other right backs wouldn't normally do.
Again, Stansted to Dagenham.
Aye, was it a big step up going to Dagenham from that level?
Yeah, massive. I remember like sort of going on trial there sort of thing, just thinking it was almost like not a jolly up or anything like that, but just a bit of like...
Nothing to lose type thing.
Yeah, and then I was saying previously that I remember going there for like 4 days, all we done was rum.
John Still?
Yeah, and then I had like a trip booked to Malia, so I was like, oh, Gaffer, can I go to Malia and then come back on trial and afterwards? And he was like, yeah, that's fine, sort of thing. But I don't know whether he like knew what was going to be going like on holiday or not. He thought I was just going on holiday with my family, but he let me come back. But I'd been on a session for like 7 days and then managed to just get back in and done all right at Dagenham.
So what is it, a Dagenham scout that's at a Stansted game? Did you just approach your dad or approach you? How does it even
I don't think he was even at Dagenham. I think it was my coach who like I had from like 12 sort of thing, Dave Britnell. He, I think, obviously suggested me going in on trial to John Still, because there was about 12 to 15 sort of trialists who went on to Dagenham at the time, and it was almost just like, just have a go and see how it gets on.
How is John Still? Because he's known as a proper character in non-league football.
Yeah, he's so funny. The weird thing as well is he tried signing my dad as well back at Leytonstone. I don't know how many years ago that was, but he's exactly the same as he was then, because he tried getting me to go to Southend this summer, and he is using the same tactics that he
used all those years ago
at the same time. So yeah, he was like, Dwight, I can only give you this much, and all that. He's exactly the same. He's a wheeler dealer. He's funny though. I love him.
What any good team talks or any funny like incidents that would only happen in the lower leagues that you would never see, like the level you ended up going to?
Not really, because I feel like I was only at Dagenham for 3 months, so it wasn't a long time. Obviously, I was there for the year before, but I was on loan at Bishop Stortford for the whole season, so I wasn't really too much involved in the actual match days. But again, when you say standout, I would be starting 2 or 3 games and then out of the team, and then back in maybe 2 or 3 days. So I would always be someone, and even when I went on loan to Bishop Stortford, I'd be pushed out to the right wing because we had like a big striker who they wanted to play up front. So I'd always be quite humbled by the gaffer sort of thing.
You only playing there, so obviously you were on loan, but you only playing there for 3 months. Is it then Peterborough come in and sign you for that?
Yeah, so I went on loan to Peterborough in November, I think, of the season. And we obviously had Darren Ferguson there, and I was with Joe Neal at the time, and I was only there for 6 months as well, so it wasn't long there.
How was Darren Ferguson?
Really good.
Was it as a coach as well, like on the training pitch?
Yeah, and again, someone that humbled me at times, sort of thing. I remember I I was on a bit of a scoring run at the beginning, and I think we won against Barnsley at home. I think 2-1, but I hadn't scored, so I was coming and I was fuming because I was trying to like go on a bit of a streak, and he proper like shouted at me in front of everyone, and I remember going into the ice bath and I was just sitting there like all upset, and he's gone to Tomlin, "Oh, go make sure Dwight's all right," and that, because you could tell that I got upset and that.
What, in tears?
Yeah, I was
like forced you to tears?
Yeah, I was basically like,
So what's the matter?
yeah, I was a bit upset.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Does he mention his dad a lot?
No, not at all. I might do, but again, I was only there for 6 months, so not.
Was
not
Joe
long.
Newell a standout at Peterborough?
So he was coming through and he was quite young, so he was someone who'd come into the team a little bit and then go out. The main sort of players was like George Boyd,
Oh, mate, what a player.
Joke, and then Lee Tomlin, who was up there with one of the best players that I've ever played with.
That was him that was going to go to Celtic. We spoke about this
He's
at the podcast
so
before,
good, man.
wasn't he?
Oh, so good.
He was a heavy hole as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's still sharp.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, even out of some of the Premier League.
Yeah, honestly, he's just so gifted. And his first touches around the corner and stuff like that, he used to just play with such freedom.
Yeah.
He was really good.
And did you and Joe Newell hit it off straight away, like we used pals back in?
Yeah, so then there was a little group that he had, there was like 4 or 5 of them that was all sharing a house and that. And I sort of migrated to hang about with them, and he looked after me, to be fair.
Any stories for the house?
Not really. I think their story, they're quite wild, a lot of them, but I didn't really get into too much because as soon as I got there, the reason how I luckily got there was a few of the boys got in a bit of trouble before from going out. So I think 4 of them got like basically fined, and I think 3 of them got sent out on loan, and only 1 of them got kept. So we wasn't allowed that. Gaffer was that strong that no one was allowed to go out in Peterborough at all. So we had to keep it pretty, and we wasn't doing very well. No Christmas do, no nothing.
Was it on that?
I hate that.
Totally,
I don't
especially
like
in the
that.
lower leagues, mate. Get the boys a Christmas do, man.
Nah, it's poor.
Uh-huh.
Honestly. Danny Swanson, mate, was
Yeah.
he there?
Can't go for Alex Ferguson. Danny Swanson.
Danny Swanson.
Alex Ferguson never came, but Danny Swanson was there.
Yeah, no, Danny was unbelievable player as well.
Great player, Danny.
Mate, was there no? So Danny was on your podcast recently. He said the fans set up a GoFundMe page to get rid of him.
To get rid of Danny?
Is that true?
I wasn't there
You
when
donated to it, he said. He says you put money in
I
it.
was the highest bidder on it.
Barry Fry.
Yeah, another
What?
one. Him and John, they're exactly the same, man.
What, I can only give you this much? Dwight?
Yeah.
No, that part.
Yeah. But again, great character, and obviously you see obviously the clips that he's exactly the way he is.
Would he ever come into the dressing room, Barry Fry?
Not really. He sort of kept it upstairs with Darren McAnthony, and them two just.
Would he shout? See when he sits up there, does he shout on at the pitch?
I'm not sure, to be fair. He was quite chilled. When, I think obviously previously he was a bit more loud.
Involved,
yeah, and obviously, but then when we was there, we didn't start the season very well, and then everything was quite professional from when I arrived.
That McAnthony's too much, isn't he?
Far too much.
I don't mind him, you know.
Nah?
No.
I know, but mate, he's on TalkSport every 2 days, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Sure, I know he'll be on TalkSport all the time. Got an opinion
no
on
way.
him, isn't he? So is he alright to it, huh?
No, he's pretty sweet.
So see, when you go there, is like in terms of your deal or not, is it Barry Fry and Darren McAnthony that you deal with?
Yeah.
And do you have an agent at this time, or is it just you yourself?
No, I had an agent, to be fair, and again, it wasn't worth having one at the time because it didn't change anything.
So you obviously chucked your job?
Yeah, I chucked it at Dagenham, to be fair. So I obviously took less money to go to play than I was working, and then.
Oh, you took less money playing than you were getting with your dad?
Yeah, bit of a sore one, and then my dad used to just like help me out because it wasn't much enough really to live, and I just bought a new car and stuff, and so my dad helped me out, to be fair.
Did you have stuff like goal bonuses, or did that not exist back then?
So obviously the first year I would have been on loan the whole year, but then the second year there was I think there might have been a goal bonus, but
That's really why you were crying, wasn't it? No, the fact you shouted that you never got your goal
no, I
bonus.
definitely got one at Peterborough. When I was at Peterborough, that was like my main source of income at the time because I wasn't on much money, but like the bonuses for playing in the appearance-wise and scoring was quite high.
Mad, mate. See, do you know Peterborough, like the club, people always get moved to Peterborough, especially strikers, don't it? Strikers always do really well at Peterborough. Assombalonga, Aaron McLean,
Mikael Smith,
they all got moved, didn't they?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know what it is, but every striker just seems to thrive over there. And even afterwards, you've had Britt, like you say, Britt, what's his name as well? Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney was there as well.
Yeah.
Is it sort of the style of football Dan Ferguson plays? Is it very attacking?
Yeah, they're always creating chances for the striker, to be fair. And obviously I was lucky enough to have Tomlin behind me, who's perfect for a striker as well.
Right, mate, this is unbelievable. When did you first hear about Crystal Palace are interested in you?
This is League One in Peterborough,
No, I was losing champs. We got relegated from Crystal Palace, basically. So that was what me and Joe was talking about to the boys the other day. Last game of the season, we're 2-1 up, and we only need a point to go to stay up. And then I think Kevin Phillips scores, and then I give away a free kick from Johnny Williams, and it wasn't a foul on like the halfway line. And then Jedinak scored a header, and then we got relegated with the highest points ever in the champ.
Oh, that's sickening.
So then we're all like crying and that, just walking
crying
in.
again, for fuck's sake, do you never stop crying, man?
Yeah, I'm an emotional guy.
I like it, mate, I like it.
So then, gutted, all going to the change room stuff, and then just everyone goes off towards their summer. And then I think the pre-season, I come back into training with Peterborough for a few days, and then they say, oh, Crystal Palace are interested in you, they want you to go. And I said, all right, can I train today and stuff like that? And like, no, you're not training, you're going like down to speak to them. And so I had to head down to...
So see, coming towards the end of that season, was there no interest, like people saying to you, Peter might be coming in for the summer?
No,
did it all depend on whether Peterborough stayed up as well, Jink? Whether you went?
Definitely. I do think if we would have stayed up, I think I would have...
That's why you gave that free kick away, innit?
Yeah.
Desperate for a movement.
No, yeah, I think we finished the season so well, and I feel like if we would have stayed up, we would have given it a good go the next season as well. But obviously, financially, it was a good investment for the club to sell me. I think it was like a club record fee. So
how much was it?
I think it was 6, and it went up to 8.5. So it was a good.
Joking.
Yeah, I think so. So it was definitely worth doing for Peterborough, and then had to work my way down to Crystal Palace.
So you never had any say in it, you just had to go basically?
No, I did have a say, but it's obviously to go play in the Premier League, you're not going to say no to it, are you?
But we always speak about this, see when that contract offer comes through and you've obviously been working with your dad like 2 years before, you must think, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. So that was like one of the things that as soon as I joined Crystal Palace sort of thing, it was a bit of a culture shock for me. And it took me probably about 6 months to like proper like not calm down like I was going wild, but for myself, it definitely took its toll a bit.
And it was Ian Holloway. We've had him on here.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely crazy. Man.
He's such a hero, isn't he?
Brilliant guy.
We done like a 3-hour podcast on him, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. What a character.
How was the first time? Can you remember the first time you met him, where it was?
I don't remember exactly, to be fair. But like you say, you're just absolute character. I remember watching Bayern Munich and Barcelona clips from when we was at pre-season in Portugal, and he was like, "This is how I want you to play" and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be balling out and stuff." But we obviously didn't start very well. As a person, unbelievable. But you want nothing but the best for him, sort of thing.
He didn't last long though, did he? That season
I
was
think
in October.
7 or 8 games, I think it was. Yeah. Was
this on the back of him playing like that great football at Blackpool?
Yeah. So. To be fair, do you know what the thing is as well? I think it was Dougie Freeman.
Yeah, Dougie.
It was at Palace up till January, and they was top and flying. And then I think because they sort of only got up from the playoffs, they was a bit disappointed with it anyway. And then we obviously mixed and matched a bit because they wasn't expected to sort of get promoted that season, and they was in a bit of financial problem. So after like the first 6 or 7 games, it was a bit like muddly. So that's why they brought in Tony Pulis to sort of strengthen us up defensively, and it obviously helped.
Holloway danced in the dressing room?
Not while I was there. Obviously, you saw the ones in the semi-final and that, and I was a bit gutted I didn't get to see it because he had moves. He had some good moves.
And who impressed you straight away at Palace?
A lot of them really. Obviously, when Puncheon come in, it was unbelievable. So good. You had Barry Bannon, who was like so good, and obviously Balassi was a joke as well. So you had three of them who's just like our outlets, and then obviously a lot of the older pros would have been great players as well, sort of thing. So it was good.
Mate, would you be starting? So see, when you signed there, are you starting every week?
I did at the beginning, but it didn't take long for me to get out of the team. To be fair, I think Cammy Jerome come on alone, and when Tony Pulis sort of came in, he was his sort of preferred striker who would, like, because we was like quite defensively based, and then when you kicked it long, you needed someone to be fighting off a few people. So he was unbelievable for us that season.
Wait, see the level, will you find, like personally, will you find it tough, obviously, the step up in level at the Premier League?
Yeah, because even though like Peterborough, we got relegated and stuff, we was like dictating a lot of play and had a lot of possession. So it's almost like build up was slower, and you could then wait for chances in the box. Whereas when we was at Palace, I felt like it was, like I say, it was more like long balls, and you're having to look after it and hold two people off and then set people. And I wasn't capable of doing it really.
Could you believe how high he pulled his shorts up, Tony Pulis?
He had obviously all the club shop on, and
he wears every single bit of merchandise, didn't he?
yeah, there was. So the classic story is obviously at the end of the season we stayed up, and I don't know if have you heard of Aaron Wilbraham?
Striker, played down Kidon's good player.
Oh, and he's the best like person for a group ever.
Right.
So we're at Wet Republic, and everyone's obviously starting to get into the flow of things. Everyone's a bit steaming and that, and then he goes to the toilet and comes back out head to toe in Tony Pulis gear. And he's got the hat on with the TP and the mask on as well, yeah. And everyone's just
Go on. What was that in Vegas?
In Vegas, in the Wet Republic. I've still got pictures of stuff. It's the funniest thing ever because he was so funny with that.
Did Pulis find out?
I don't know if he did. He must have seen it, but because it got plastered everywhere, sort of thing. But like I say, Aaron was so good for the group, and everywhere he's been the same.
Bro. See, Paul was talking about how you found the Premier League quite tough to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a particular game or player that you played against that you just thought, fucking hell, I'm at my depth here?
I don't know really. So
Who was the top team at that time?
I think probably would have been Man United and Man City, and then we obviously played Man United about 3 or 4 games in, and I think they beat us only like 2-0, but we didn't do too bad. We perhaps opened ourselves up against some of the probably teams that we thought we could beat, and then they'd give you a little taste into. We obviously lost at home to Fulham, which was when Holloway got sacked. So that was a bit of an eye opener to just see how ruthless teams could be when you open up a bit.
What about centre halves? You remember a particular centre half when you first went up to Premier League? You thought he's unreal.
Like I remember getting a few smashes from Vidic, like elbows from things.
Brilliant.
But yeah, there was obviously some great players in.
Mate, I'm honestly need to go back to him. I was obsessed with Tony Pulis. Was he terrifying, mate, in a dressing room? Could he lose it?
Not really. No. He just carried that aura sort of thing. Even when we went to pre-season, he'd be at the top of the hills, obviously. I don't know if you heard, but his Austria sessions used to be ridiculous. We used to be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, like running up hills and stuff. And he'd be testing people to see who's going to break and stuff like that. And I'd be struggling to get up the hills, and I'd be stopping almost on every run. But he wasn't like that way where he'd be like, go on, like just do the best that you can. That's what the way he was. And he just carried that aura that you didn't really want to upset him.
Was there people that couldn't have done it, that broke?
There was someone, yeah.
Who was it?
Jose Campaña, a Spanish guy.
Right.
And he couldn't speak English, to be fair. And I remember him like complaining about, I think it was his calf or something. He pulled out of his calf, but then the gaffer still made him do it on the bike instead the next day. And then all the boys were like, oh, schoolboy for not knowing that you need to pick up something that you just can't do anything with. So he was up 5 and he was having to do extras on the bike.
Oh,
and
brutal.
I think he broke him because he went alone somewhere, I think.
Is he the most direct football manager of all time, Tony Pulis?
He's done so well with them.
I know, but like, how do you practice that in training? Is it basically like, let's just fucking hit leather boys?
I don't know, it was more just about getting the shape right sort of thing. So that was just a given. When you got the ball, you work the channels. We had 2 boys, like you say, on the wings who'd carry the ball for us, like halfway up the pitch and get us throw-ins or get us crosses, corners and stuff. But in terms of like patterns of play, it was a lot of defensive work. But
it's my type of football works in it because you get a manager that signed you who plays
complete
your
soccer
style, mate.
Yeah.
And he's brought you in, and then you get a manager who, for a small centre forward, mate, must be a nightmare.
Yeah, I think the worst one was that I think we played Aston Villa away, Boxing Day, and I think in the papers he wrote like a little bit about me, and it was like, oh, I can't believe we spent so much money on like Dwight Gayle or something like that. I think he said something like, if he would have been my player or something, I would have like looked after him or something like that. And I was like so upset when I saw it. Yeah, I remember seeing it, or someone showed me it in the morning. But then luckily I scored the winner that day, so I was buzzing. But it just wasn't his sort of player, to be fair. But he was always like wicked with me, and I thought, he'd work a lot on the boys who didn't play. So he wouldn't talk, not talk to them, but the ones that started, he wouldn't really fixate on them, and he'd work a lot on like the boys.
Do you speak more to the boys that weren't playing, which is quite good? Did he like proper work on thrones and stuff like that?
I don't think we really had a long throw, to be fair.
He was devastated, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, he obviously had it previously at Stoke, but I don't think we had a long throw.
Who's the sprint? Remember he's sprinting at half time down the tunnel?
You see glasses on.
Right, mate, we need to talk about it side, don't we? One of the most famous games in Premier League, Liverpool game, 3-0 down, mate. Comeback, what a comeback, you scored 2, what a night. Yeah,
it was one of those nights that you sort of like don't realise what's happened until like years and months later, sort of thing. I'd obviously love to experience it again to just see how it went down, but yeah, like I say, like the people that talk to you about it now is just obviously remember it so clearly, and obviously Liverpool fans that come up to you and say how much they hate you and stuff.
Do you actually get that?
Yeah, quite a bit. Not like aggressively,
but
yeah, they say, oh, I still hate you and stuff like that.
Where's the weirdest place you've had it, like holiday or?
Loads, because I'm quite like a unique base sort of thing, so I stand out and I'll always find a Liverpool fan somewhere.
Still now? Do you? See that Liverpool team were a joke, weren't they?
Yeah, they're so good.
Suarez,
Sturridge and Suarez.
Wow.
The two players, when we played them at their place, was probably the best like attacking performance I've seen. They was jacksing everything to each other, 1-2s, yes, leave it here. Honestly, so good. Sturridge was so good with Suarez.
And they were 3 down.
Mate, your 2 finishes, I think it was especially your first finish, was unbelievable.
Yeah, another one that said Tony Pulis. I thought, when I was coming on, I was thinking he's chucked me under the bus here. We're 3-0 down, and their fans are asking for 7, and you're just like,
Stick me Dwight on. Get the fans to hate him even more.
Yeah, the fans were literally saying we want 7 because they needed like extra goal difference for the Man City.
That's right.
And I was going on, and I was thinking, oh no. Like,
what was your first goal like? Can you remember where it came from? What side?
Yeah, I think they had a corner or a wide free kick, and I think Yannick Balassi started running out with the ball around the halfway line, or he picked up around the 18-yard box, but he got to Glenn Johnson about the halfway line. I think Glenn Johnson dived in and he just kicked it miles past him and just chased it, and I was just waiting in the box sort of thing, and then I sort of like pulled out, and then he played it to me, and then I remember just slotting it into the back corner, and I remember I scored at Anfield earlier in the season, and we was losing 3-0, and I scored, and I started celebrating in front of the Crystal Palace fans, and I was giving it the aeroplane.
3-1 down?
Yeah, 3-1 down, yeah. I got back in afterwards, and all the boys was going, not good enough, you can't celebrate in that when you...
Fucking Anfield, mate, I'm celebrating as well.
So when I scored the second again, when we got to go 3-2, I was thinking, no, I'm definitely not celebrating yet. So I went up to Balassi, I just clapped his hand and ran back in. I was thinking, I better not. Yeah. And then the third was obviously Glenn Murray again. Someone who's unbelievable to play, so intelligent, someone I've learnt so much off. She's like not someone who's blessed with unbelievable attributes, but so clever.
Just a good football player, wasn't he?
So
Brighton, he was amazing.
Yeah, he's so clever, man.
See, when it was on the pitch, could you hear like were Liverpool players arguing with each other? Had their head gone? Because we're all going mad at the referee as well, when Suarez started crying on it.
Yeah, it was just it went so quick. It's all mad, and then obviously afterwards you see all the emotion that goes with it. And I think they had one at the end that they almost like literally scrambled in, but obviously it just wasn't meant to be.
Have you met any of the players since that? Or Rodgers, the manager, or did he ever mention any of his...
On the weekend, Rodgers not give it to me, but he's like, oh no, like, I thought you was going to come on, like, I thought you was going to get one near post and stuff.
Going to do it again?
Yeah, he said, I thought you was going to do it again. and I said to the boys, I was like, please let me do it again, because one of the boys is a Liverpool fan as well, and I was...
Who's a Liverpool fan?
Jordan Abita.
Oh, is he right?
Yeah, so he wasn't too happy last night. So we have a little bit of about it, so it's good fun.
God, that's mad. You're basically the man that stopped Liverpool in the league.
How many games were left when you played that game?
One more, I think. So yeah,
Mate.
and then Tony Pulis let me start the next game after that. And then I scored another couple, and then the season finished.
Was the media attention mad the days after that game?
I think so, but again, it's just one of those. I just felt like the time just went so quickly that you almost just take it in your stride. Like you say, I went from playing the Conference North to the Premier League in like 13 months. It was just a bit of a whirlwind sort of thing.
I never knew it was 13 months.
I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? Especially when you said like some of the games as well, you were coming out. It's not like you were like a proper standout scoring every week. I mean,
just a bit of luck.
Were you still staying with your mum and dad?
I was not at Peterborough. Obviously, I travelled away, but
When you moved back to Palace, though?
For the first bit, I was, yeah, and then I found somewhere after a while. But I was still at my mum's, and I should.
But when you scored the 2 goals against Liverpool, you went back to your mum's.
No, I probably would have been back afterwards and stuff. I used to go back quite a bit, to be fair.
Do you think that is why you are so humble? Because you do seem like such a nice, humble guy. Like, is it because you have played that level for so many years?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm so fortunate that I managed to have that upbringing that makes me should appreciate it a bit more. Like, even when I was getting to places like Dagenham, a lot of the boys would have come from clubs like West Ham, and they were just like complaining about everything, the pitches, the food, the footballs, whereas I'd be like buzzing about it, just the fact that we're getting to play football for a living sort of thing.
Again, for young people watching this, everyone thinks being in an academy for your young such an important thing, but obviously for you it was the opposite, wasn't it?
Just made you appreciate it a bit more.
when does Pulis leave? Is it that summer?
Yeah, or he left the pre-season.
Right.
So a bit of a dodgy one. It was literally like the Thursday before the season started. I think whatever reason it didn't work out, and then we had Keith Millen take over. He was assistant manager for the first 2 or 3 games, and I think we had Warnock maybe.
Mate, are you gutted? Are you happy? How are you feeling when he's leaving?
I didn't really have neither or, to be fair. Like I wasn't playing too much, but the way I finished the season, it was almost like I was going to get the opportunity, and I think I was starting the first game, which was against Arsenal on the Sunday, and then he left, and then I was at the team sort of thing, and I think Fraser Campbell might have started, I think, that game. So yeah.
And then an absolute legend.
Oh, mate, we love when players have played under this guy Warnock. The amount of stories with has been incredible, mate.
Have you heard Ross McCormick talk about putting his pile cream on the dressing room?
Yeah.
Have you ever faced it?
It wasn't like that with us, to be fair. He weren't, but he
never had the piles when he was using that?
No, he must have got rid of it, but he was definitely crackers sort of thing.
Was there any standout moments for you, mate?
Not really. There was one time when I was like, I must have been playing, I think Punch and Fraser was on the pitch as well, and I've got like quite a unique like walk and stuff like that. When I'm tired, you can see that I'm sort of like crunching over sort of thing, and Gaffer's shouting onto the pitch, Fraser, is Dwight all right? Ask Dwight if he's all right, and I'm like, and then that was just like the way he was. He just bonkers sort of thing. But he would get quite angry if you like didn't get a win or something. He'd be ready to shout.
What's the angriest you've seen? Can you remember?
Not in particular sort of thing. Just any loss, you'd be pretty upset.
Would he dig individuals?
Not really, I don't think, or not that I can remember. I do remember though when I went I joined Newcastle, he sort of dug me up, and he weren't even at the club, and I was like, what's he come for me for?
Told you about in the paper or something?
Yeah, he said, because Rafa obviously signed me at Newcastle, and he was like, I don't think that's the right move sort of thing. He's like,
managers love giving you in the papers, don't they?
It's like, Dwight's neither a striker or a winger. I don't know, like, he's not going to be the one for you sort of thing when I went to Newcastle.
I think that's when the pile started, wasn't it? You got your move to Newcastle, mate. He developed piles.
It's just stressed him out.
Did you ever ask him where his eyebrows were?
I can't talk, I ain't got any either.
He's literally got no eyebrows, has he? What was his football like? What would be his style of play? Was it similar to Tony Pulis?
Yeah, but it wouldn't come across that way a bit more. You'd do a lot more like patterns of plays, and
he wouldn't take it, would he?
He'd be involved quite a bit.
Would he?
Yeah. And then they'd obviously take away to do like the shape on a Thursday, and the other boys would get to do a 5-0 or 7-a-side, which was buzzing. And then but then no one would watch our one, and we'd have to referee it ourselves sometimes, sort of thing.
So basically just fuck you off and you got...
One of the assistants used to like look after it, but he'd be on the phone sometimes, and then like we'd shout, we'd say, "Oh, like this our ball," and he wouldn't really know what was going on. He'd be like, "Their ball," sort of thing, and just carry on.
Is that big Ronnie Jepson?
No, that weren't Jeffo. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it weren't Jeffo. Jeffo used to get angry as well, though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then that man Pards, he comes in. How was he, mate?
He was really good.
Was he?
Yeah. So, like, again, someone very different, like, coaching-wise. Really, like, I loved his training sessions, was really in-depth in terms of information, and someone that I really enjoyed, to be fair, like, coaching-wise.
Yeah, he gets involved in boys' nights out and stuff like that, doesn't he? Loves it.
Loves it, yeah. So, again, you obviously see these dance moves and stuff, but he likes a little night out. We didn't really do too much, to be fair, I don't think. But if we was out, he'd be there. Right?
So he'd be in nightclubs with the boys?
No, I don't think we went out in England.
Like pre-season stuff?
Yeah, pre-seasons.
Do you remember the night that you saw?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Well, where's that? In South Africa. And I just remember he was loving it.
He's on it?
Yeah, he was loving it.
That's brilliant.
I don't think a manager's really doing that, do you?
I like it.
You don't mind it?
I do like it,
No, I'm not sure. Even if he cut final, like when he does that dance at the side, what is the players' thoughts on that at the time?
I don't think Punch was very happy as well, because Punch was sub as well, so he was fuming. And I think Punch's celebrations, I think him shouting back abuse at Pardew, I think, you know.
Mate, do you know producing Punching?
Aye.
It's that mate, scary guy, man.
Is he?
Yeah, he is scary, but like if you're one of these, like,
mate,
say he looked after me and he's so loyal as a person, so I love Punch. But people he didn't like or whatever, they'd be getting it.
Mate, he spoke about this openly, so you can say it, like, he was in a proper gang in London, mate. We used to play Southampton, the boys like that, mate, and he played centre mid this time, and I was up against it, the boy Punching's a psycho. But what a player, mate. See, any time you're like, you'd be actually scared to tackle him, but what a player he was, wasn't he?
And he adapted his game so well as well. Obviously, he lost a bit of his speed, but he went into play him centre mid because he just understood the game so well, and he's obviously gone on to be a manager as well. So,
is he the type that would have a go back at managers?
Not have a go at them, but he'd come up with an idea, because he's someone who got coached at a good level at Southampton with great coaches. So his idea of the game was high. So he'd just maybe question certain things.
Do you have a question, Warnock?
I don't know. I think Warnock might have not been scared of him, but because Punch is a bit tough.
Yeah.
He'd probably look after Punch and say, "Punch, you're doing amazing all the time," sort of thing, something like that.
Amazing.
Mate, just sorry to go back to it, but that dance at the side, I remember watching it and I genuinely couldn't believe what I was watching, mate. You said obviously Punch wasn't happy. What about you? What you think of this when you're seeing it?
Just one of those ones that's just, you sort of, I don't remember seeing it. I maybe saw it afterwards, because we was all celebrating at the time, just buzzing, thinking that we've won the cup, and then obviously you see afterwards him doing that and you're thinking, nah, you probably deserve to lose after doing that.
Does he mention it in the dressing room, mate?
No. I think, no, because I can't even remember the dressing room afterwards. Obviously everyone's gutted afterwards, but yeah, I don't remember.
See, when he came out with you in South Africa, like, would he get on the dance floor and dance?
I think there was a few moves.
Nah, if I seen my manager doing that in a nightclub, I don't think I could ever listen to him again, man.
No, I think he must have been dancing. Must have been.
That's genius.
Is that one of the lowest moments of your career, mate, when you lose the final?
I don't. Probably not. I think the Peterborough one was a really emotional one for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was loving it at Peterborough, but everyone after the Palace game was gutted as well. And it was just one of those ones where you knew how close you was, and the fact that they went down to 10 men was like, you just realised how much you missed out and how you should have won. One of those ones.
Who'd you beat in the semi?
Watford. So Connor Wickham scored a great header, and I think Balassi scored the one in the first half.
And then do you go to Wembley like the night before, the day before, and all that stuff?
Yeah, it was really nice. They obviously set up all the stuff in the change rooms from the families and stuff. And
what sort of stuff for the families? Like videos, isn't it?
Or I think there was videos, and then the little spots that you go into, little dressing rooms, all like pictures of your families and the why basically of why you play football. Yeah, it's nice.
And what's a part of your team talk like? Was he good with team talks?
I think, yeah, it was pretty decent. Like a lot of coaching points and stuff, but yeah, no, he was good.
Who was some of the big characters in that Palace team? Was Adebayor there?
Yeah, but he probably wasn't one of the bigger ones, sort of thing. You had obviously the ones that were prior. So we had Jedinak, Delaney, Scott Dan, Puncheon, Balassi, like big characters.
Balassi was a joke for a spell, wasn't he?
Yeah, so good. Until obviously, he still had a good career afterwards, but his injury was a big defining moment for him. But prior to that, he was so good.
What kind of guy is he? Good guy?
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's sick. And he, as someone who's come from like lower leagues as well, so very humble.
Zaha, mate, do you know what? He's had an unbelievable career, but I actually thought he would have done it at Man United, mate. That's how good I thought he was. Was he unbelievable, mate?
Yeah, so obviously his dribbling ability would have been better than, I think, probably than Balassi. Balassi was a bit more like rogue, more individual and just pick up stuff, but Wilf was so good and he was technically very good as well. But I think if Wilf had Balassi's mindset a bit more, then I think he would have been even better. Sort of.
How would Zaha always seemed like he was frustrated with me the full time he was playing for Crystal Palace. You could just tell he was desperate to get out of there, man.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Someone I still speak to now and stuff. But you just wanted him to just try to learn a bit more and understand the game. Like obviously, it's unbelievable and a lot better than I was. But you know, in terms of like helping out other people to make runs to drag people away and stuff, he'd be just like, nah, just give me the ball and let me do it. Like a madness, and that's what he done really. He was so good at dribbling, and obviously the way we played, we needed the people like that. If we didn't have him or Balassi, we wouldn't get up the pitch, sort of thing.
McArthur was there as well, wasn't he? James McArthur.
Best player.
What?
So good.
No way.
Was he?
Yeah. Have you not?
No, obviously a great player, mate, but I was just surprised that you said...
Never, ever lose the ball, and he'd be everywhere, and he went for a little spell as well when he was scoring goals as well, and he was so good. So good.
He's a legend at Crystal Palace, isn't he? The amount of appearances, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good guy as well.
Great guy.
And honestly, he was so good at 5-0s and just never lose the ball. And he never got, like you say...
The credit.
Never got plaudits.
I always thought Zaha would always look at McArthur thinking,
how's he playing?
Nah, he wouldn't, because like I say, everyone knew in the dressing room what James was doing. He was good.
Yeah, he ended up captain, didn't he?
Yeah, he was so, honestly, pleasure to play with. Like you knew that if you give it to him, he wasn't losing the ball, and he'd always make angles for everyone. Good.
Jedinak's in Mange now, isn't he?
That's right.
Jedinak was the captain, he's in Mange coaching, isn't he?
If it was Hibs manager, is it Montgomery?
Nick Montgomery.
He's in as well.
He's in there as well. Stillions.
Jedinak, man.
He was good for us as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, sick. He was solid, and like I say, he was one of the ones that I feel helped ground me as well. Like, showed me the ropes, not in terms of like playing wise, but just how to be a professional and stuff like that. And remember me saying about Jose Campagno about the bike thing. I think we was playing against Stoke away, and he wasn't really like running about sort of thing, or he lost the ball and then didn't chase it back. And obviously Crystal Palace got to where they was from everyone like digging it hard work, because they probably wasn't as gifted as whatever. But I remember he couldn't really speak English and stuff. So as we come in, Jules Speroni was like the only one who could. Yeah. So Jedinak's going in and he's shouting saying, "Oh, we don't do that here" and stuff like that. And he's going, "So you tell him that, translate that, Jules," and stuff like that. And oh mate, everyone was just giggling like that. Yeah, because it was so funny. But he was a great captain. Like, he was perfect for the club, and you obviously see how good he was. And he scored a few free kicks as well.
See Zaha being the way he was, would there ever be fights in the dressing room between him and players?
Not really. No. There used to be a few fights and stuff, but not really Zaha. No.
Would they ever say it at a punching now?
Nah.
No, scared them as well.
Yeah, everyone was scared of Punch, to be fair. Punch, and then Jerome Thomas has had a bit of a mouth as well.
Did he? Jerome, he was a good player, winger. Was a good player.
Yeah, so them two used to be a bit of the bullies sort of thing, that own the dressing room sort of thing. And then, yeah, it's funny.
Brilliant.
Did you play against Punch a lot?
I was at Southampton, mate. We used to beat them all the time as well. I'd be terrified, mate. Think he's going to batter me, man. But mate, what a good player he was, really good. And then to Neil Warnock's disgust, you get a move to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Mate, what a club.
Brilliant. Were they Championship at the time?
Yeah, they just got relegated that season.
So is there any sort of hesitation that maybe don't want to go because they are Championship, or is it because Newcastle are that big?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer really. To be fair, I wasn't playing as much as I would have liked at Palace again. I'd play maybe 15 games of the season, but I just wanted to be playing football. And then when it sort of came to be an option, it just...
Again, how does that come out? Does an agent just phone you and go, Newcastle, want you?
Yeah, I think my agent was like, oh, they want to speak to you sort of thing. And I think I was with my missus on holiday. He said, like, Rafa wants to speak to you sort of thing. And I'm like, what? Like, Rafa Benitez sort of thing. And so then I'm just buzzing. And I remember speaking to him and then...
What does he phone you, FaceTime you?
No.
Sit on his tongue or something like that, yeah. Cocktail.
How was that conversation? Is that an awkward one?
No, it was just pretty quick to be fair. He was just like, oh, like, I like the way like you obviously play and stuff. Like, we're obviously looking to go straight back up and it's not going to be a Championship club for long, so just like, we want you to come.
The way you told your missus, was she buzzing,
Yeah, she was obviously buzzing, but she was quite comfortable in London at the same time, but their old man was a bit more happy, I think.
That's amazing, isn't it? I love how stuff like that works. But again, Benitez, was he quite defensive, Benitez?
Yeah, very, but I feel like because we was playing in like the Championship, the players that we had was always going to create chances anyway. So we'd always work on a lot on shape, but then like spontaneously the boys that we had with like Shelby's and Matt Ritchie's was always going to create chances.
How about Shelby? He was a top player, mate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Matt Ritchie says to me that if Shelby, like you said, was that, if he fully focused himself on playing football, he could have played for like Barcelona.
I think Matt, John Joe, I think he can be quite like he perceives that way, that he's a bad professional or he could not concentrate, but he would be locked in. Yeah, and he's very professional away from like he likes his golf, likes a beer and stuff, but then he'd always be doing extras and stuff at home. Like he's got his gym at home and he'd always be like working, to be fair. And he was an unbelievable player.
Mate, his technique.
Did they not have a big time shout? Did you not say that?
He cashed me off at 17 at Charlton.
Cashed a few people off, to be fair.
In the Premier League?
Probably everywhere.
And what sort of stuff? Just
yeah, because to be fair, obviously growing up he would have had a lot of like grief and stuff, and I think it's more of a defence mechanism where he's just trying to go as strong as he can, so then the person just completely stops the argument sort of thing, because most of the time someone will say something to him and then that's his comeback.
But like every day in training and stuff like that?
No, not in training. No, never in training, just like when we play teams, especially when we're playing in the champ, that'd be like his go-to. if someone started giving it to him, he'd say that and then it'd just end the conversation.
People didn't realise that in football it's a funny shout as well, isn't it? He's half serious but he's half having a joke as well, isn't he?
Yeah, no.
I do love that shout, mate, because even when he cashed me off, mate, I was laughing, mate. I think that's amazing.
Is he when he's saying it to you, is he like...
Oh, he's deadly serious, mate. He's fucking staring at you and he's making you feel that big, mate.
What was his wording?
I think he said, I've got me a cash at 17 and you'll ever have in your career, so I was like, fair play, mate.
Wait, was he?
17, mate, he's a joke. Honestly, Charlton, mate, just broke in.
He was captain.
Never passed it with the instep he's fit, mate. He zinged everything.
Is he like that, mate? Like you say, he's captain? Is he like proper like vocal in the pitch?
No, he was captain at Charlton at that young age.
At that age?
He's not too vocal, but he obviously just leads by his ability.
How did you find Matty? Busiest man in football, isn't he?
Yeah, but me and Matty used to have so many fights all the time. What
about him not crossing the ball?
No, because not me and him. Well, we did have one, but like he fight with everyone just because he's so chirpy, and he pushes it and pushes it and pushes it, and then someone just goes up to him and just says like behave and stuff. But he's also such a good professional, and he's overachieved because of how hardworking he is. But he wouldn't like worry about me saying that because that's what he thrives on. And he's a great guy as well. Me and him speak a bit more than we even probably spoke then.
What did you used to fight? You say he's fought once?
Yeah, so what happened was, I think the ball was bouncing around and I think he said lift him to Kieran Clark about me, and then I must have said, but he was boiling over for a while before, so then...
Is this in training?
Yeah, and then so then we've gone up to, I've said, what are you saying, sort of thing? So then we start arguing or something, then we get together, we start like grabbing each other or whatever. And then like Rafa Benitez said, both of you go in, because like Rafa hated it. He said, go in, both go in. And we was like, no, we're not going in, sort of thing. Like, we'll behave. And then another one came back round, and I had the ball, and he tried smashing me. Yeah, so I just grabbed him and threw him on the floor, and then he's trying to like freaking fight my legs and stuff like that as I've got him down. But he's
an angry wee guy on the pitch, isn't he? So if you pass the ball anywhere else but him, mate, he's fucking moaning into you.
But he's
What a career he's had, mate. Honestly, I can't believe he's years at Newcastle, isn't he?
And obviously he's so gifted technically. His left foot's absolute
joke,
joy.
Mate.
One of the best deliveries.
Yeah. How hard can he kick the ball as well?
Smash it.
Mad, done it for a wee chubby guy.
His right foot's right as well.
His right foot is good, mate.
Don't call him chubby, mate. He'll be fuming.
I know, that's why I've said it, mate. He fucking hates it, doesn't he?
Mate, he's so because he's so healthy and he eats all the right things, and then he'll get hooked on something.
He's probably the first I've seen, because we were obviously back at a different time. He's the first I've seen that properly lived his life like a football player, mate. You see, we slagged him, mate. He didn't care. He was so strong mentally.
Yeah.
He just,
like if you say, "Oh, you're not coming out for a beer," or he won't care.
Does he no drink?
Not. He might have one or two, but like not. They wouldn't have it with the boys really, or anything like that. He was just so focused.
How is Benitez's? Because we interviewed Carrigan, he said like amazing coach, but his man management was sort of non-existent. Was that similar to Newcastle? Were you?
A little bit. Like he never liked arguing or bringing things up. So if he made a decision, it was like quite quietly. If he didn't like you and stuff, he would like let you know.
Just avoid you.
Yeah, avoid you.
And then managers are the worst, isn't it?
And then you'd find
when he sees you in the corner, he quickly goes back round up on them.
You'd find yourself just on loan or something, and you're like, how did I get here? Like, you didn't even say you didn't like me, sort of thing. He didn't really like confrontation too much. But I think a lot of the boys who maybe didn't play under him too much wouldn't have enjoyed it, because he kept himself to himself. But he loved football, and when he starts chatting about it, you just literally stuck. I remember people used to get like, there's a little boot changing room, like just as you come in, and the gym would walk past it. People would go past sometimes, and if you was stuck with him, you'd be there for like an hour. You'd go past do your gym, you'd come back through, and you'd see people that were there from the whole time, and he's just
just talking tactics?
Talking football for the whole time. He'd be talking about Real Madrid a lot as well. It's funny.
Did you ever get caught with it?
Because I used to try and wind him up about Ronaldo as well, because he didn't really.
He wasn't having Ronaldo?
Not having him, but I used to say that he was the best, obviously, because I'm a United fan and stuff, and he wasn't having it, sort of thing. So I just like try and like give it a bit about it.
Is he tactically brilliant?
Like defensively, unbelievable, and then I just feel that when we started to need to go to that next step, attacking wise, maybe we wasn't good enough or he didn't believe that, but. We didn't get too much information on that. Because
there's been a lot of rumours that you might take the Rangers job.
I saw that,
you think he would develop Rangers? Think that'd be a good fit?
I don't know. You never know, really. Obviously, there's a bit of a gap at the moment, but he might do well.
He's all sweating, Benitez, isn't he? He always had a mad shiny forehead, man.
Mate, I'm sure Carragher said to us his whole time there at Liverpool, he never said well done to him.
That's right.
Even when they had a great result, or
he was quite like someone who was fixated on the way you play and how you perform rather than the result sometimes, and he'd never get too high or too low, sort of thing. He'd always just be like, if we do the right things over a period of time, like the results will take care of themselves, sort of thing.
But he's never one that would crack in the dressing room after, would never go mad?
No, never really. And then again, someone who's not very confrontational, so he doesn't really want it to kick off. I think there was only like once maybe that he like probably kicked off.
And what was that?
I can't remember off the top of my head, to be fair, but he just like, he was pretty.
But no scary now.
Not scary, no, not really.
I love the fact that he didn't want confrontation. If you're out alone and you've got.
You think when being at Liverpool and Valencia, not that he wouldn't mind that, mate.
Nah,
I love that, mate.
He's just pretty chill, sort of. Not chill, but just confrontational, not really. You just suddenly find yourself sacked or something like that. He loved his chocolate ice cream. He used to have like every meal.
Rafa with 3 scoops every meal?
Yeah.
What, as in lunch and...
I don't know about lunch, but he used to love his chocolate ice cream, so maybe because of that he wasn't too, like, we was fine, really.
I'm obsessed with what managers eat, and the Celtic boy said that Ange used to have like 5 bread rolls with his lunch every day. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, man. So Rafa liked the chocolate ice cream, did he?
Loves it.
That's amazing. So did he obviously liked you then, Benitez, did he?
Yeah, but then obviously... like I say, I got sent on loan after he didn't like a lot of like English mentality drinking. Didn't like that sort
And
of
did he
thing.
catch you drinking like?
Yeah. And,
How did he catch you?
I got caught just being a bit of a naughty boy on the night out sort of thing, and then like just a bit too much drink, and then he just sort of sent me on loan, like I say.
Who told him?
Just come out a bit.
In the newspaper?
Not too much, just around the town sort of thing. And I think I missed training the next day and that. And
Oh mate, talk us through that please.
No,
How does that feel?
No, it's just one of those ones sort of
Just
thing.
in late at night and then forgot you couldn't get up?
Yeah, I think it was England, Sweden.
You went out to watch it?
Yeah.
And then end up it?
Yeah, just ended up...
Mate, that could be the worst feeling in life.
the
See when
worst
you're late,
fear.
have you missed training the next day?
Yeah, it was bad.
What time do you wake up at?
About 11,
And training started at 10:30?
probably, yeah.
So do you phone in or do you just patch it?
Yeah, I tried saying I was ill.
Too late, innit?
Do you phone him directly?
No, I think I told the doc.
Right.
Yeah.
And then does the manager phone you or does he see you the next day?
Oh, I think I see him the next day.
And
Like again, you probably would. I was thinking I'm doing well again, and then suddenly I'm alone.
does he just say to you?
No,
going alone?
no, you weren't even like that. But you just, I think, you just sort of wanted someone different.
But who tells you you're going alone then? Him?
No, I just the club was just like, oh, do you want to? This is an option for you to go. Like, we want you to go on home, sort of thing.
So there was no like bringing you in his office and go mad at you?
No,
Like?
definitely didn't go mad at me.
That's weird, isn't it?
That is strange.
You just think a manager of his stature would...
Any manager really though.
Good night though, huh?
Yeah, of what I remember, yeah. Good fun.
But even though like you went out the night you're late, but you scored, was it 23 goals that season?
No, that was the season afterwards. Yeah, so I played quite a lot of the games in the Prem next season, to be fair. Probably the most I did, but I definitely didn't do well enough to like establish myself as a striker there.
How St James is amazing.
One of the best.
You been at a game at St James's?
Nah, never.
Oh mate.
What's
So good, isn't it?
You almost like, I feel like you don't really appreciate it at the time until like I went back this season, and you just think like, how lucky am I to have like been able to? The atmosphere's crazy.
Because obviously you'd been at clubs like obviously Palace and Peterborough, but the atmosphere at St James's and the size of the stadium, the club's just different level of Palace.
Even just around the city as well. Like,
Obsessed, aren't they?
yeah, like everywhere you go, you're literally seeing a fan. Whereas some of the London clubs, you can go into London and hide almost.
Top best club.
It wasn't when I was there.
What was?
I heard it's got a bit better, but I think Lavella was a bit better.
Right, is that where you were that night?
I think I went top.
Top, didn't
Yeah,
you?
but I actually don't know what it looks like.
Who else have you had? Steven,
Yeah.
Who else was with me that night?
One of my mates from back home, so he came up to we went out to watch it was like a little box where you watch the England game and stuff. And I think Maguire scored, and everyone was just like buzzing. So it just got a bit crazy.
Ivan, Tony and Josely.
Yeah, so he sort of came in and didn't.
Hopeless, wasn't he?
He wasn't the best, to be fair. And do you know what?
What's hopeless for Jim?
It's just one of those things. To see as a striker, I feel if you don't get confidence and stuff, and the fans start to get onto you, it gets a bit difficult. And he didn't really have the greatest time, but then he went on and done really well.
Is it one of them when you're sitting watching, go, how the fuck is he playing for Real Madrid in the Champions League final?
Me and Darlow, we talk about it now.
Who's Darlow?
Carl Darlow.
So
we say like, obviously at the time we've got this English core, and we saying that these lot are not rubbish, but like not that great. And then obviously they've gone on to go to other clubs after they've sort of got released or haven't done that well, and gone on to be world beaters playing for Spain and stuff like that. And one of us at Arsenal, and then we're all just like stinking the gaff out. So it's mad. So we're like, oh, we must have been the bad eggs.
You were the problem.
If we wouldn't have been there, they would have been decent.
Tony the same, mate. Did you tell Tony he was going to go to the top?
So I didn't come across Tony, to be fair. He was
On
one
loan
of
all the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he didn't even, I don't think one pre-season I saw him, but obviously we had Joselu, who went on to play for Spain and win Real Madrid, Iosi Perez, who's played for Spain recently, and Mikel Merino, who is obviously at Arsenal now.
Oh, was Marino there?
Yeah,
Wow.
so he came, and he was very good, technically very good, and he wasn't bad at all. So this was one of the sort of players, but he used to always like go down injured and whinge about stuff, and the boy used to just like shout stuff like, oh, like shouting, oh, every time he goes down, because he used to be down for 5 minutes even in training and stuff, and we're like, come on, man, get up. And then we found out he had a scan and he had a broken back.
You're joking.
It was caning him. He used to go down all the time. He was like, oh, Marino's down again. And then we found out he had a broken back. And then he left that season, and then he went on to be unbelievable.
I don't know if I'm having Marino.
Nah, he was good, mate, in the Euros.
Was it? Huh?
Really good. But do you know, like, though, with Newcastle, I mean, it was obviously a massive club. Do you know, like, for years though, it felt the atmosphere was so bad because of the relationship with the fans and Mike Ashley. Did the players sort of feel that?
Yeah, but I felt like Rafa was so good at the way he manipulated
Head from
it.
Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
Just hide every time
Yeah,
Ashley.
he did. Yeah. Well, not hid, but like he played it off him so well. The way that so that might be one of the big things that he can do if he does come to Rangers. He's so good at that. Like the way he manages the fans, manages the players, like to make them like be on side sort of thing. He's one of the best I've seen at that.
And how does he do that?
I don't know. Like just the way he used to like play things down, or sometimes he'd say things about Mike maybe or whatever. But
To use?
no, even to the fans and
Press
stuff. Yeah,
that,
press. But he was so good at it because the fans would be so behind Rafa. But then as soon as we had Steve Bruce, who was like the opposite and sort of catered to Mike Ashley, they absolutely obviously hated it.
Did you ever see Mike Ashley? Did he ever come about?
I only saw him once, and we went out for food and stuff. And
We just tuned him?
No. We went out for a dinner with I think we wasn't doing too well or something with the team, and he sort of took us out for food. And it's just a normal like East End London guy sort of thing.
Imagine Rafa sitting with that big Sports Direct cup
Yeah, I don't.
in his office.
Rafa wouldn't have liked Mike, I don't think, or that's the way he was sort of thing, because he obviously always wanted to improve the team with finances and stuff.
Did Benitez leave because of Ashley?
Yeah, I think so.
What was like the final straw? Do you remember now?
I think his just contract sort of come up to it, but I think for the last previous year, he was sort of adamant that he wanted to. And then, yeah, as soon as he left, I think we signed Joelinton because Rafa didn't want to sign him, I think, previously. So that was one of the ones that was just, when Steve Bruce come in, he automatically made that signing. And then I don't think Joelinton started too well, so then the fans even hated it even more, saying that Mike Ashley's, or Steve Bruce is just his like puppet sort of thing.
That's right, I remember all that stuff. Joelinton went on to be brilliant, wasn't he?
Eddie Howe changed him into midfield,
So
didn't he?
good, bro.
Was he so good?
Absolute machine. Not at the time, but again, it's a
See
confidence thing.
in training, would he always play centre forward?
Yeah, when we was
When
there.
then,
Yeah.
And did you think at the time he's not a centre forward? Because he's obviously amazing at centre mid, isn't he?
It's weird because I don't know if you remember Mo Diarmi.
Yeah,
He was someone
good
very
player, Diarmi, yeah.
someone who was very similar as well. Hated playing with his back to goal, but then as soon as he's on the like ascending and trying to like press someone else or being on the front foot, different player. And he even admitted that he was not someone who wanted to like play in that 10 role.
I mean, how did the players feel, obviously, when Benitez goes in and it's Steve Bruce that comes in? How did the players feel about that?
Again, it's one of those things where you just sort of, you get on with it sort of thing. I'm sure a lot of players would have liked Rafa's approach sort of thing, but as soon as someone comes in new, you just try to adapt to it and try to get on with it.
Was it good?
Who's Bruce? It was okay. I felt that he didn't like perhaps spend enough time on working on a lot of things with us. I think he was trying to go game by game rather than perhaps develop on us as a team. Right. I just feel like we could have improved with a lot of things, but...
Is it true you never done anything in training and when the new owners got in, he was tracksuit on?
Yeah.
The talk us through this?
So, obviously, like you say, he didn't really do much on the training pitch. But then, obviously, when the Saudi owners came in, he stuck his boots on and a whistle and it's like, he was like, if I'm going, then I'm going to run you into the ground or something like that. So we're doing some running drills and he's just run us and he's blowing his whistle and he's just like making it into a little bit of a joke and stuff. He's like, they're over there watching me.
That's genius to be fair. You always seem to be standing like, anytime I went to my training, he'd be standing with a cup of Bovril or something like that. So would he just stand, who would do the coaching, the assistant?
Aggers, yeah.
Oh, Agnew that came up here, didn't he? He was up here as well, wasn't he?
And Clement, Steve Clement, all the Steves. They had the three Steves. And then they brought in Bonner, who was decent.
Who's that, sorry?
Graham Jones.
Oh, Graham Jones, who's with Eddie Howe now.
Yeah.
He's meant to be top, isn't he?
He's very good, very good. He saved us, to be fair. So.
And then was Brucey taking all the credit after Jones and saved you?
Yeah, I think something happened a bit as well, because he obviously got called up to England. and then the following season they stopped him from going. I think he signed a new contract of some sort, and they didn't let him go do the international,
Right.
which upset him a bit, I think.
How's the bacon, did you say?
Oh, mate, he had some classics. We used to die. I forgot how many. This is the thing in football, you forget a lot of things. But he used to say some crackers in the interviews, man.
Like, what else can you remember?
I can't. I'm gonna have to think, but that's caught me off guard. But the how's the bacon was so funny. We used to just giggle about it. And again, me and Carl Dolo used to just be dying.
That's stupid. Why would he be asking you about the bacon?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Remember he said that you accusing me of being the Dino
Oh, yeah. What? Craig Hope, him, and this guy absolutely. You calling me a liar then, or something? Is that what he said? Yeah. So this guy, Craig Hope, like a journalist, absolutely hated him. So we'd have meetings about him basically because someone was leaking something in the club, sort of thing, and Brucey obviously used to hate it and was after. He's like, whoever's talking to this Craig Hope, yeah, you'll never play football again. Not even for me, you'll never play. I'll make sure that you never play football again and stuff like that. Oh, it's so funny.
Could he come after the players like half time after the games? Could he lose it a bit?
This is the one I do remember is I remember like some of the boys got chucked into the Man City shift. Basically, I think
What does that mean?
We had a 3-game week. And I think Gaffer sort of chucked a few of the boys under the bus in terms of who had to play against Man City away. And me and Matty Ritchie was asking for like tactical like improvements for weeks or months or whatever. And then we come in at half time and I think it was like 2 or 3-0 or something down, and he's like, boys, like, you keep asking for tactics. I don't do tactics. Just put your boots on and work hard. That's like, and then like we're like, mate, it's Man City. That's not good enough to just run about there. And yeah, that was one that I was just like in shock about. But yeah, that's what he said.
See, when the takeover, like the rumours started, with the players buzzing or worried that there was going to be new people coming out, which meant news would maybe be going. When did you first hear about this takeover as well?
There was previous talks about stuff like that for a while, so we almost just didn't really take like too much into it because I think it was almost done like 6 months before or something. And then obviously we saw like the scenes obviously when it goes on Sky Sports and everyone's outside the stadium going crazy. But then again, everyone, I don't think people would have been too worried. People were just like happy to just to crack on, like, and just try to like hopefully that they get the option to do well and get other players that do come in and do well, and then it should make the team better.
I spoke about how well it is when you're doing well there, but see when you aren't, because there was a spell where you were struggling. Mm-hmm. Is it a hard place to play football? Like you say, everyone's so invested in it up there.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if things are not going well, like again, like you just don't want to be caught doing anything. Everyone sort of just stays in their houses because people are desperate to just like ask, oh, like what's going wrong and why is it going wrong and stuff like that. Yeah, it's one of those ones where you just try and keep your head down, just go into training and then get back home as quick.
Did you ever get it in the street?
I think I got it once. I was out with my Miss Old Man. You just went into like some bar and someone give it to me about like your rubbish or something or your shit or something, and I was just like, all right. My Miss Old Man was more angry than I was, but that was probably the one of the only times. But other than that, it's been alright.
Mate, the atmosphere did change. When the new owners came in, it was incredible.
Ridiculous.
Wasn't it?
That last 6 months of the season was probably the best I've ever seen it. Yeah, and I think even more so better than even now, just because now they've got a bit like touristy, where a lot of the like ballots for tickets and stuff. Whereas that point, and now they have a bit of an expectation. Whereas then, the atmosphere was just crazy. Everyone was just so buzzing. I remember playing against Arsenal towards the end of the season, and the atmosphere was deafening. It was ridiculous.
That is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brucey goes.
I think he went only on the second game. I think he made like his 1,000th game. I think they gave him, and then Eddie came in.
Did he give a speech when he left?
I can't remember. He must have definitely said something, but not in anything that I'd remember. And
were you buzzing when you heard that it was going to be Eddie Howe?
Yeah, because obviously a few of the boys had him before, and
Matty loves him, doesn't he?
Matty loves him.
He's love child, didn't he?
Yeah, so that we're talking 3 or 4 years previously, he's been telling me, oh, Eddie's this, Eddie's that. And I'm like, I can't be that good. But then when he come in, it's absolute joy.
What, is he that good?
It's unbelievable.
Can you remember I'm obsessed with stuff like this. Can you remember his first speech to the players? Because he does seem like a great talker. What does he say?
Or not exactly, but he put up like these 4 things that are like non-negotiables.
What are they?
I can't remember. They're just like respects and stuff like that. Pretty standard, really. Values and stuff like that. But I remember it. And then I remember the first training session, he was just at it. And like boys weren't really clued on to like the passing drills and even the thinking that comes into it. Because sometimes like coaches will put on passing drills where there takes no
relevance to what you're doing.
Or not even relevance, but there's no thinking process. And then it means that people can just go through the motions. Where these first one was like, yeah, you're not gonna have to start thinking and you're gonna have to be on it. And it was like sharp and fast, and I was like, yeah, this is like, that's it.
And is he on you during the full session?
Yeah, like he's shouting stuff to do things properly and stuff, and if you're not doing it properly, like he'll be stopping it and kicking off.
Is he completely different to Brucey? Does he take everything?
Yeah, he's so good, man.
And he knows how the bacon is, so he doesn't need to ask.
Yeah, no, he like I say, he was coaching stuff. Like, and then for the next 6 months, like we just worked on everything down to a T. He was so like on every aspect of the game, and he wanted all these players to be thinking, and like everyone knew their jobs, but then they also know everyone else's. To the point that I remember towards the end of the season, I think we had a few injuries in midfield, and I was gonna like play centre mid. It was like, yeah, Dwight, like you obviously so like understand everything I do and stuff like that, and he was like, if we need to, will you play centre mid? And I was like, yeah, gotta go for it, sort of thing. But like his understanding of the game is so clever, and he'd always be open into like learning new stuff as well.
What is he like in terms of motivation, team talks?
Yeah, it was really good. I think it'd be more like the groundwork that he puts in. Like we worked so much on like team spirit sort of thing. So we used to have these spin meetings sort of thing where like there'll be 2 players that sort of tell their story about their lives and their why sort of thing. They work through like 4 periods of their life that were special to them and stuff like that. We used to be getting up, like getting emotional, like crying and stuff. It was really good, man.
And does he do it himself? Does he tell you his?
He's the one who does it first, sort of thing. So he says like, this is like what I want to be, and he had like his 4 decades were his sort of thing of his life. So his first 10 years of his like growing up, and his like teenage years, and his playing years, and then his coaching years.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
No, it was honestly, I take so much away from Eddie, from like all these motivational stuff. So good. I mean,
would like there be dressing up?
I remember that Sean Longstaff, when he went up, like he was getting all emotional, and he was like, I don't know why I was gonna cry in that, but I just got like emotional in that. But he like sort of spoke about his family and stuff, and
being big Newcastle fans and stuff like that.
But it was just, when someone goes up there, they tell stuff that you just wouldn't have a clue about their upbringing, and you would never know unless they told you, sort of thing. And it just opens so much doors that I feel like.
And getting to know people better.
Yeah, see like me, I feel at Hibs at the moment, because we're winning a lot, it means that everyone can batter each other and say stuff without getting upset by it. When you're losing, it's the opposite, but that's what that does as well. It just opens up.
Being vulnerable.
To being vulnerable, which means if you can do that, that means that I'll do whatever you want for you on the pitch and stuff like that. And it just worked so well. And then you see like the pictures that they take after the game, it's us against the world type. Everyone thinks, oh, it's cringy or stuff like that. But that's the environment that he's trying to create, that is everyone in this dressing room is against everyone else, sort of thing. And then it means that you're like my mate, sort of thing, like proper, and it's good, man.
Would you mind saying what you said in yours? Or did you?
I didn't get to do it.
Oh, did you?
No, I didn't.
Did you have it all planned and
yeah, it's going to be an absolute worldie. No, some of them were so good, and
who else was good? Dan Burns, a big Newcastle fan. Did he do it?
Yeah, I think he done his. Yeah, there was a few good ones, and like even like Sir Maximin or people that you just wouldn't know their upbringings and stuff. You find out about people's like family members that passed away, or their wives and stuff like that, and it is really.
That's fascinating.
It's touching, and not everyone can get behind it if you haven't experienced it. But then, like, when you see what it can do, sort of thing, it was really good.
When we did that, after training or before? Like,
Before training.
Before training.
So we sort of had like a spin session as well. So it'd be a bit of fun as well, like all the fines and stuff like that. And we used to do like training points as well. So every drill was up for a point basically, and it used to get so competitive. Yeah, it was sick, man. So like on a Friday as well, we used to always do the same like session before, like we do shape or set plays and stuff, but everything was for a point. And then at the spin session, people would be getting awards for like their monthly thing, percentages and stuff, and everyone would be on it. It was good.
So what, if you were the person that like ran most in training, you'd get
not running, but who got the most points sort of thing. So every drill would be like, there's 2 teams and you're playing for a point or 2 points, and then at the end of the thing you'd be like, oh, I played 10 games and I won 7 times, I got 70%, and you're on the leaderboard. And then if you get top, like you're getting like money and stuff like that. It's just part of the fine money.
He's thought about this, hasn't he?
That's brilliant, by the way.
See the best manager you've had?
Yeah, and I didn't even have him for that long, but I could just tell what it was going to be like. And then when you go to see obviously what the next season was like my favourite thing, because when I'm watching them, I know like everything that they're doing and why they've done it, and you can see how effective, even from the point that they played obviously a 4-3-3, but when they go to throw-ins and stuff, they automatically go into a different formation, which is like 4-4-2, and then they just automatically straight back, and the first one jogs to it and the second one just sprints at it, and then they just always win the ball back, and the distances, it's just down to a T. He's got a lot of like strap work that he does for like defensive work. It's so good.
So every situation on the pitch, you know exactly where you should be, whether you've got the ball, whether you don't have it. Amazing.
And it's like literally like when one person goes, the others just automatically go with it, and that's like no disrespect, but you know, like Fabi Shah, he's one of the most intelligent players, and he's not the quickest, but he's able to play in such a high line because of the way that they play. They're just so clever with it.
Wow,
fascinating.
It's incredible. Mate, he fixed so much his assistant, didn't he? Remember he was
Tyndall.
Tyndall. Is he excellent? The Tyndall?
Yeah, he's good, but Eddie just does everything. Really.
He does everything?
Yeah, Tyndall does more of like the set plays and stuff like that. Eddie's just so on everything. Wow. Like, so I can see why Matty loved him so much.
I played against his Bournemouth teams in the lower league, mate, again, first time because we were well set up under the Canio, but he was the first manager he played against the lower league. They know exactly what they're doing.
They are, yeah, like it's not even like players sometimes. He'll bring someone in and he'll just absolutely adopt them in to the team, and it might take them a bit longer. So sometimes, like, I think it was like Tonali who wasn't perhaps setting the light on fire at the beginning, but then now he knows all his jobs and that. You just see how good they are. Like the players that he manages to just mould into, it's a team thing every time for him.
Somebody said earlier on he's another one that doesn't like confrontation. I don't know if that's maybe changed now he's at Newcastle, but I can't remember who said that he wasn't mad on like confrontation. Yeah,
not too much, but I wasn't around long enough to experience any like bad ship or anything like that.
You didn't return that time you were
No, and then also someone again, as soon as you got there, having meetings with everyone, wants to know about them, know about their family, know their kids' names.
He just pulls you into his office and has a personal one-on-one chat about everything your life.
Yeah, he's absolutely wicked with me. I loved it.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? You mentioned a player at St Maximin. How good was he, mate?
Yeah, he was someone who was so gifted and obviously so spontaneous, and he was perfect for like Steve Bruce's style, where it's off the cuff a bit, and then you need players to be able to do stuff on their own. Whereas I don't think he was sort of Eddie's sort of player, where I said it's a team thing where you work on overlaps and like doing stuff for other players. And remember where I said Wolf might not make a run for the other person to do something, maybe not so much suited to that.
And then Guimaraes, what's his name?
Guimaraes, what a player.
Yeah.
Could you tell straight away?
Nope.
No way.
Yeah.
Had one at first?
Yeah. Not had one at first, but I just remember watching him in training and I was thinking, like, not anything bad. I was just like, we just paid 40 mil for him or 35 mil, and I was thinking, his attributes are not amazing. Like, if you look at him, he's not really an absolute tank. Yeah. He's not ridiculously fast. And then even the way he was striking the ball when we were doing shooting, I was like, and then I was thinking, But then what he's been able to do has been ridiculous. Like, he's so clever. The way he just rolls the ball and he's like press resistant sort of thing. It almost helps if someone presses him, because then he knows where the next one's going sort of thing.
But again, do you think like Eddie Howe's systems what made him such a
No, I think his understanding of the game is very, very high. Very high. And he sees stuff very differently from like the normal player, so that unpredictability unlocks stuff as well, which I think is good.
Have you got a favourite moment at Newcastle?
I think maybe scoring, like when we got promoted was probably the best. So I think I scored the last minute or last few minutes, and then as I was celebrating, we obviously found out that Brighton had conceded as well in that moment, and then just celebrating with the fans was good.
And what did you do that night?
I think we went out, but I'm not sure where, to be fair.
Was that Rafa?
Yeah, we went out the week before to, like, I remember that was just like some student bar. It was like a Tuesday or something. We beat Preston, and I think I was injured, but I remember everyone was just going crazy. Just like people, I remember some of the boys like knee sliding in the nightclub or something. It was just carnage.
Did Rafa go?
Definitely not.
He went to Wetherspoons for a breakfast at 7:30 on Tuesday night.
Ice cream and Wetherspoons.
That's amazing. Did you do the bus and that through Newcastle?
No, because obviously it's sort of for like not expected, but if we didn't get promoted, it would have been a bit of a, because like even if the so-called second 11 was good enough to win the league, sort of thing.
It's sad to leave Newcastle.
Yeah, but it was almost like it was just the right time, sort of thing. I like leaving, not like leaving things on a good note, but I didn't really want to overstay my welcome. I still had like 2 years left and stuff, but yeah, I didn't want to leave it on a sour note.
Mate, you've had an unbelievable career. Which would you say is sort of the biggest standout moments for you?
Probably just like I think my first game in the Prem against Tottenham. Just such a special moment for like my family and stuff, just to, because they've obviously helped so much and stuff, and just like I remember going back to my flat afterwards and just sharing like a bit of time with the family, and it was really nice.
Does your dad, he kind of came home and away to every game since?
Not recently, but he did used to come a lot before. Yeah, he used to come like to all the away games, and I remember that Villa game that I spoke about before, him and my brother came to it, and obviously when it was like last minute that we scored, and I remember going in and like celebrating all in the crowd, and they was all like jumping down, and just makes you like so happy, but at the same time you're almost wishing that you was in there with them, sort of thing, just to celebrate and just be a bit nicer.
Oh, it's amazing that you've gave him memory. So your dad was a player as well, you said?
He like played the lower leagues and stuff, and that's why John still tried to sign him. And another funny story is when I was at Pardew, I remember him calling me in one time, and I think for some reason he was giving me bad news. I don't know whether it was because I was not starting or whatnot, but he said, make sure you don't like bring your dad in to slap me, sort of thing, because I think he gave him a slap when they was younger and they was playing like non-league against each other, which was a bit of a mess. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Pardews like, make sure you don't bring your dad in to give you a slap again.
Should have slapped him after that dance again, shouldn't he? Yeah. Stoke and Derby. Big clubs, Stoke and Derby now?
Yeah, they're not doing too well this season, but both big clubs.
Who was your managers at the two?
I had Michael O'Neill, who's obviously up here, for the first 5 games at Stoke, and I had Alex Neil.
Oh, Alex Neil, he's meant to be tough, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an angry.
He's an angry man, Alex Neil. Scary.
And he was he did so much on the other team out of possession.
Right.
He was good at like our press. Our press was clever.
Do you know of a thing where you need to run a certain distance, and if you didn't, you need to run the next day? Is that true?
I didn't. We didn't have that, I don't think.
Right.
But no, it was quite funny with him, man. We used to get on quite well, but he was quite. He had a bit of like paranoia, sort of thing. I'll listen to this one. So we used to go in the physio's room, and that used to be like the spot that used to just go off with like all the jokes. Everyone used to just be like in there just having a laugh and stuff. And like I say, one time we was in there, and Alex, someone opened the door. I think one of the masseuses opened the door, and Alex Neil sort of falls through because he was on the other end, like listening in.
That's brilliant.
And everyone just giggling and stuff.
You're done after that, mate, innit?
Yeah.
As soon as the boys have seen that, you're done, man. Who was the managers at Derby?
I only had one.
Who's that really, was it? No.
How can I forget his name? Just got
Paul Warren?
Yeah, really good.
Is he good, is he?
Sick.
He's quite funny in interviews and stuff.
So good.
In what way?
So I buzzed off him. So all the boys weren't really, not having him, but just because they've had that similar team talk. So I was only there for like 12 weeks or a bit longer. But when he used to do his team talks, he used to go in and make it proper emotional, and I used to be so fired up after it was good, man.
What sort of things did he talk about?
I don't know, just about like, seize the day, and how like you're not gonna get these opportunities and stuff like that. But not even quotes. He'd be like, he's very good with his like words and stuff. But he'd get me going and that, and I was like pumped after each one. And then he was just like a really good guy, very down to earth and stuff. And then when you scored your first goal and that, he used to give you like a mug with a picture of your goal on it and stuff, which was, I thought, a really nice touch. So I've still got my mug.
Well, a derby mug?
Yeah, with your goal on it. And that's it. Yeah.
That's class, I like that.
So I got my little one that I scored against Port Vale that I drink my little coffee from in the morning and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he sorts that out, like, and everyone's like buzzing because, and then you have all your pictures up on the wall for like your wins and stuff like that over the season. So when you're going in before the meeting, you'd walk past all of them.
Oh, that's quite good.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Hibs. Anything else you want to know about Hibs? Best mates? You obviously still Neil.
Yeah, but I'd say my closest mate's probably like Mariah Welsh.
Good player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing really well. Yeah, done well. And then obviously Junior, we get on really well. We've got a nice little group.
Player, isn't he?
One of the best. The boys, they're in amazement how good he is. And they're like,
training like.
They're like, 5 years ago, you must have been the best player in the world.
He was, mate. Blackburn, he was a joke, mate.
You can't get the ball for him. He's just so good.
What age is he now, Hoylett?
34.
Is he 34?
Yeah.
Who's the gaffer's boy?
I don't think he really has one, you know. Probably Joe Newell. Yeah, but
he's done so well, mate. The gaffer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Especially his first job, and then he had that bad start. So that mentality to sort of keep going has been outstanding.
Yeah, I've actually been like so happy for him, just because you can see like how much it means to him and stuff, and then also like he's another one who didn't really get too high or too low with wins and losses and stuff, and he'd just be like, just continue to do like the right things and you'll get the result, sort of thing. And that obviously must have been what he was saying to the chairman and whatever who stuck by him at a point when we was obviously struggling and stuff. But the boys are like obviously very thankful for what he's done for them, and like things are going well at the moment.
Who else has impressed you playing wise since you've came out?
A lot of the boys really. Obviously Nectar has just been unbelievable.
Triantis?
Yeah.
Player, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he's almost like, see that unpredictability that I mentioned before. I feel like he's someone who's so good at it. Like you think, right, he's going to pass there, and he manages to just dribble somewhere else, and it just catches people out. A very powerful figure in the middle. Been one of our better players, and obviously Nicky.
Adam's done brilliant, hasn't he, mate? For you, it's a dream, innit, that left foot?
Yeah, and even for the team, like from set plays, like he's one of the ones I would say could match maybe someone like a Matty Ritchie, whose technique's ridiculous. And then, like I say, all the boys have chipped in. I think people have like taken their turn, sort of thing, and been like the main players, and the defence have been really good at the moment.
What about playing against me in the league? Anybody stood out?
Is it Miller in midfield?
Lennon Miller for Motherwell?
Yeah,
a young player,
he
brilliant, mate.
was
What a
good.
future he's
and
going
then
to
obviously the other young boy who just got called up, I thought he was good the other day.
Wilson.
Yeah.
For Hearts, good player, isn't he?
And then obviously you've got the boys at Celtic are doing really well. And is it Cherney at Rangers?
Aye.
Yeah. And then is it Iggerman?
Iggerman,
he was outstanding here, wasn't he?
So them two was causing us dramas on the counter attack. So they was decent. They were very good.
On that, how's it playing against Big Rocky every day?
Oh, I had him today, yeah. Oh, it's so long. Everyone just gets out of the way. He was barking again today, so everyone just jumps out of the way. And then anytime the ball comes in the box or he's near me, he just picks me up and just moves me out of the way. and then decides to head it. Was in crossing and finishing today. I'm like, yes, I've got a chance to head it here. He just goes, move out of the way, and he just heads it away. So no chance.
He's a monster, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then Edinburgh, how you found Edinburgh? Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely. Just it's nice that obviously you've got the city and everything involved in that, but then you only got to go half hour, 40 minutes to see the countryside, isn't it?
Amazing.
Mate, can I ask you, mate, obviously that it's no set in stone yet that you're going to retire at the end of the season, but if you do, what's the plans for the future? Media, coaching?
I think maybe coaching or maybe a bit of agency. I definitely want to stay in football.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely stay in football.
Another year, mate. Another year with Hibs, innit?
Would you come on the weekly pod? We did a weekly podcast that would speak about the weekend's games. Would you come on that?
Yeah.
In Glasgow?
That'd be great,
Would you let him drive your Lambo? He's not got a licence.
Did you drive like Boyley or not?
No, I failed 5 times.
He's failed 5 times.
Yeah.
I can't pass, but maybe this is what I need to learn me, innit?
Getting a Lambo must be amazing. Again, no to talk about again. Thinking that you're playing non-league at 19, now you're driving a Lambo, man. You must be amazed at the career you've had sometimes, nah?
Yeah, but
Hard work as well.
No, like not even hard work. I just wanted to like I say about Matty, just feel like I'd overachieved. I did all that I could to perform to my best ability, and feel like I've done that. And I've been very fortunate and very lucky with the way things have dropped for me, whether people get injured or people have got in trouble for the routes that I've got through, and yeah, just very thankful for it.
Do you still speak to any of the boys you played in that Stansted to?
Yeah, my little boy plays for, or he's going to be playing for my number 10, my Tomlin in that team, for his team, yeah.
What did you say? 8?
He's 7, yeah.
7,
yeah, always 10, yeah. Not Stansted, but it's like my old team that I used to play for, to be fair.
Right.
Would you do that if you played Premier League?
Not speak to one.
Never.
I'd never speak to him.
I'm surprised he's done that.
Dwight Gayle, what a guy.
What a guy. Thanks so much, mate.
Thank you, guys.